The main session, but I want to officially welcome everyone to our entertainment activity tonight. My name is Jason. I'm one of the owners of Fuzzy Logic Escape Room, an escape room that's based just outside of Chicago in Downers Grove, servicing not just our local community, but now all around the country and all around the world, thanks to the magic of technology. We've digitized our puzzle solving experiences to be able to bring our flavor of fun in ways that embrace diversity of thought to companies and organizations all around the world. Tonight, we're going to be previewing a special kind of distilled version of escape room puzzle solving, what we like to call our Code Crackers game show. So we're really hopeful that everyone has put their thinking caps on, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be engaging in teams by breaking out into different breakout rooms, and then as a team, trying to solve as many puzzles as you can to earn points before that breakout timer runs out. Kind of like Bar Trivia Tuesday, but instead of all of us hanging out at a bar and rapidly trying to scribble things down, we're able to sip our cocktails, if you've got one, here at home in the comfort of your homes, and to be able to work together as a team through the magic of Zoom technology. Once again, my name is Jason. I'm thrilled to be able to be your host, and I'm supported by my team, Amy and Matt, as well as a wonderful ICIC team member, Derek, who will be making sure that everything is working from a technical perspective in the back. Yes, thank you so much, Derek. So, the way that today will work is that we are going to divide into the breakout rooms in just a little bit. But before we do that, I'd like to explain how we go about solving the different puzzles that are here. What we're going to do is we're going to paste a link to an answer form and a link to the first set of puzzles that are there. Now, everyone, I want to make sure that you get that up and open on your browser, because when you get into the breakout rooms, yes, you could work on the puzzles on your own, but really you should be working together to identify a team leader. That team leader has two main responsibilities. So number one, they are going to be the one responsible for sharing their screen so that everyone can see it up nice and close in case you want to be able to share screen and point things out. Or rather, and number two, they're the ones responsible for submitting the answers using the Google answer form that we pasted inside the chat. Without submitting those answers, it's kind of like the person that didn't get a chance to run up and hand it over to the host in Bar Trivia Tuesdays. You need to make sure your answers get in there. How do we know that they're your answers? Well, this is what we need you to do. As a team, come up with a team name and a secret passcode. That way we could use both of those pieces of information to guarantee that it is you that's submitting an answer. We want you to use chat, voice, video, and if you know how to annotate, use annotations too, to be able to help each other solve the different puzzles that are included inside the suite of puzzles that we'll be sharing with you shortly. And again, the team leaders are responsible for submitting the answer form. Also, make sure you're keeping an eye on the timer that's on the upper right-hand corner of those breakout rooms. We'll try to push out messages reminding everyone that time will be running down, and that you'll want to get those answer forms in before the timer runs out. And then we're going to go ahead and tally up all the points of all the correct answers, review what the correct answers were for each of the different puzzles, and then share who is on top of the leaderboard as a result. We're going to go through 2 rounds today, and those rounds are going to last 7 minutes long. So you want to make sure that you're using your time wisely. Make sure that you take the opportunity too to introduce yourselves to each other, maybe talk about what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what kinds of puzzles that you feel attracted to. Because remember, you are working together as a randomized breakout team. So we've got the answer form inside the Zoom chat. Remember, go ahead and open that up and make sure you have it open in case you get selected as the team leader. What we're also going to go ahead and paste inside the Zoom chat is a link to that first set of questions. Once again, this is access to everyone to go ahead and open up, but don't go blurting out answers yet. You want to make sure you save that for when you're in your breakout room. And remember, if you are the team leader, it might be helpful for you to be able to share the sheet is, so that maybe you could perform annotations or point things out to each other. You'll also notice, actually, Matt, let's go ahead and get that link inside the chat. Perfect. You'll also notice that there are a different number of dots underneath each of the questions. That's how many points that particular question is worth. Easier questions, worth fewer points. Harder questions, worth more points. But they might be a little difficult to tackle and might require more than one person to take a different perspective to it. So it's up to you to decide as a group which types of puzzles that you go after. Should you knock off the low-hanging fruit or tackle the bigger ones to be able to propel yourselves in the lead much further so that you could focus in on that time? And if you happen to finish early, take the opportunity to continue to introduce yourselves to each other. And of course, don't forget to make up that team name and that secret passcode. Once again, after the round is done, we'll come back here after the breakouts and we'll review the answers. And then at the top of the hour, we'll see who's on top of the leaderboard. So I hope that everyone is ready. Once again, the answer form and the round one should be inside the chat. If you don't have them, make sure you lean on your teammates inside your breakout rooms to get the info that you need. And Derek, let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. You'll be pushed into your breakout rooms. And I want to wish you the best of luck over the next 7 minutes, Code Crackers. Good luck, everyone. Everyone has exited? All right. And remember, if you are a team leader, remember, you want to go ahead and use the answer submission form. Let's go ahead and get that answer submission form pasted back inside the chat once again, in case you may have missed it the first time and you want to go and get those answers submitted. All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Matt. So make sure you get that open. You want to keep it open, especially if you're a team leader, to submit those answers. And we're going to do a final call out for those answers. Team leads, get that submitted in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, so now let's go ahead and go over the answers for our first set of questions. I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Let's go over a quick presentation. Thumbs up from folks if you could see my screen. Great, I'm seeing thumbs, we're good to go. So for round one, the first thing that you saw, it's just a pretty simple maze, though with the letters all around hanging like ornaments, it can be a little disorienting. But going from the start on the base up to the end of the star, you will pass through a series of letters which spell out the phrase, peace on earth. And that is your answer to your first question. All right, next up, we've got a little interesting message here that needs to be passed along a variety of planners to be able to hold this holiday party. So now we have to figure out what's the most efficient way to be able to get this message passed along. The first person will tell another person, and that takes about a minute. And then those two people will tell two other people. So now we're up to 4 people total in the know. And then those 4 people will go ahead and tell the other people as well. So we're looking at a 3-minute total time frame to get that message passed among the whole party. All right. Next up, looking inside the star, you've got some triangles that are right out there in front of you, but it does take a keen eye to realize that there are other triangles that are present as well. In fact, they're the triangles that extend out into the pentagon and point to the extra point in the star. With those being 5 different rotations within the star, we come to a result of 10 total triangles. All right. Next up, we've got this little kid that's asking for a ton of stuffed animals, but of a certain variety. The requirements were that there were 6 wings, 3 shells, and 26 legs among 10 stuffed animals. With birds accounting for the wings and the turtles accounting for the shells, we know that we've already accounted for 6 of the stuffed animals. And then using that to know how many legs that they've got, 18 of the 26 legs are accounted for, leaving just 8 legs left. With dog and snake being the last 2, we know that 2 of those stuffed animals need to be dogs because it's 4 legs apiece. With 2 dogs, 3 birds, and 3 turtles, to get to 10 stuffed animals, you've got yourselves 2 snakes. All right. Next up, Noel Twist. That, of course, is a scramble of sorts, and it's translated to ornaments that were hidden underneath. When you just simply do a translation exercise, you can get to the answer, let it snow. All right. And then for this one, this is actually a pretty typical kind of spatial logic puzzle that's out there. You've got 2 people that want to be able to just share some hot chocolate fairly. So they've got this big 8-ounce glass of, well, I guess that's not very big, but an 8-ounce cup of hot chocolate, but they're stuck with just a 5-ounce and a 3-ounce. How could you make sure it's equitable? Let's go ahead and see how it happens. The most efficient way is first to pour the 8 into the 5, because you can fill it up to the brim, and that way you know for sure it's 5. Then take that 5 and pop it into the 3. You're left with 2 ounces left inside the 5. That kind of leftover is going to become really important. We're going to take that small 3-ounce cup and dump it back into the 8-ounce cup. And then we're going to take those 2 ounces and pop them into the 3-ounce cup because it could hold it. We're going to then pour 6 ounces back into the 5-ounce, leaving 1 ounce in the 8-ounce glass. Then we're going to tip the 5-ounce glass into the 3-ounce glass to fill that one up to the brim, leaving exactly 4 ounces in the 5-ounce glass. All you need to do is take the 3 ounces, dump it back into the 8-ounce, and you'll realize you have a wonderful, peaceful, equal hot chocolate sharing in just 7 moves. All right, excellent. So that is the answers for round 1. We will hop into round 2 in just a little bit, but I think with that, I'd like to pause and see if we are good to go and show off where we're at with the, whoops, that's not the screen that I wanted. If we're good to show off with where we're at with the leaderboards. Matt, are we good to go?
That we are.
All right, fantastic. So we'll go and present this on the screen here. So right now, in 3rd place, we have Team JKD with 3 points. In 2nd place, we have Team Awesomer Than You with 5 points. And in 1st place, we got Team Smarty Pants with 7 points total. Now, as you saw, some of these questions are worth a good number of points, and so it's definitely anybody's game. We're now going to go ahead and prepare the next link to the next set of puzzles. Make sure that you enter the chat to be able to open up that particular link. Or if you are having difficulties, especially since it is a bigger file, you want to ask your team leader to go and share their screen so that it becomes nice and big for everybody on the Zoom call at the same time. That's in the event that you're not able to go and observe it on your own. And again, team leaders, make sure that you're answering the call to action there to be able to take a peek and share your screen. My apologies, I realized I wasn't sharing my screen, speaking of. So once again, there's our leaderboards there, JKD in 3rd, Awesomer Than You in 2nd, and Smarty Pants in 1st. Team leaders, make sure you also have that answer form ready and get ready to be able to submit those answers for your team. Now, this is going to have some harder questions. So if you can't get to everything in the 7 minutes, make sure you go ahead and make that decision as to whether or not you skip that question or not. So we're going to go ahead and get those breakout rooms once again finally finalized, and we'll be pushing you out for a 7-minute timer just momentarily. Derek, how are we doing with getting the breakout rooms together?
We're all set, ready to go.
Fantastic. So Code Crackers, we're ready to round 2, and I want to wish you all the best of luck. Take care. Welcome back, everyone. So we're just waiting for everyone to come back in from the breakout rooms. Hopefully, folks have cracked those codes. Remember, if you are a team leader, you will need to go and make that submission of the solution so that we could make sure that everything is back in order and that we could score your results. Welcome back, everyone. We're just waiting for folks to be able to tune on in. Feel free to stand by. All right, folks are finally tuning on back. Welcome in, everyone. We're going to go ahead and review the answers to round 2 in just a moment, but let's make sure that we've got everyone here. Remember, if you are the team leader, you're going to want to go and submit that answer submission form before we go over those answers, because we will cut off the round indeed. So team leaders, this is last call in 5, 4, 3, 2, submit it with blank answers if you can. And 1. And all right, so we'll go ahead and get started with sharing our screen. I know we're getting close to the top of the hour, and I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening with this interactive event for our virtual escape room puzzle solving adventure. This again was Code Crackers. Let's go ahead and see what these answers are. Sharing my screen, give me a thumbs up if you guys can see. And again, last call if you haven't submitted the answers yet. All right, now we're officially cutting it off. Here we go. Going over the first question of round 2. So, oh, well, the answer is just there. 29 times, surprise. So basically, when you cut a chocolate bar into 2 pieces, that's exactly what you're doing. You're cutting a chocolate bar into 2 pieces. And then when you take that piece and split it up, you're also still making 2 pieces again. So to go from 1 chocolate bar to 30 individual unique pieces, you have no choice but to break it 29 times. No stacking, no folding, no nothing. It takes 29 times to go from 1 piece to 30 pieces. I know, folks, I know. All right. Next up, we got 12 gifts here, 12 days of Christmas, but one of them includes coal. And you don't want that particular gift, of course. You've got a scale and you want to be able to do it in the most efficient way possible. So how to go about doing this? Well, first, go and divide your gifts into 3 clumps of 4, because the information that you glean from the gifts on the scale can be just as important as the information of the gifts off the scale. Let's take a look at how this works. If you take 2 of those groups of 4 and they balance, then you know that the coal is hidden somewhere in those other 4. Or if it imbalances, obviously the heavier one has the one with the coal. So taking that into account, we're now able to find the group of 4 that for sure has the coal. And then you've got a couple of options, but the most direct option here is just to split it up 2 and 2. The heavier one has the coal, and then divide that up and do 1 and 1. So as a result, you'd be able to see in three turns, 3 rooms. That's a typo there. In 3 turns, you'd be able to go ahead and figure out which one has the coal for sure. All right, Santa's in a conundrum, stuck in the middle of this lake, and he needs to get back to his sleigh, but the lake is super slick because it's been frozen over. So anytime that he takes a step, he slides right until he bangs into a wall. So what's the most efficient way for him to get back to his sleigh? Well, first he's going to go ahead and slide down, and then he'll slide right. He'll slide up, bump himself into that wall, slide to the right again, and then zip straight up into the ending slot there in just 5 moves. All right, next up, we got this girl and this boy talking about their ages and talking about, hey, if you were to borrow some years from me, I'll go ahead and be this much older, this much younger than you. The statement that is made said, hey, sis, if you took 2 of my years, you'd be twice my age. And then the sister said, give me 1 more of those years and I'll be 3 times your age. This is a pretty standard 2-equation algebra equation. I know, I'm sorry. Math has no presence here in the holidays, but here it is. Anyway, we'll go ahead and solve this two variable equation here by multiplying everything out and trying to get a value for what the girl is. We find that 3 times boy minus 12 is the same as 2 times boy minus 6. Going and solving for that, we find, that the boy is equal to 6. Going ahead and popping in that 6 into the value, we find that the girl is also 6, which means that they're the same age. So as a result, there is no difference between them. They are twins, and that is how they're able to get to that specific math. All right, we got 5 gifts, and this particular OCD situation wants them sorted in a very specific way. So let's make sure that we recall some of the rules. We did say that the blue is to the immediate right of the red. So we know that that's going to travel as a pair no matter where it is that they are in the actual sequence. Another rule had said that next to red is not yellow or green, which means that white is the only one that's left that could be on the other side of red. And then similarly, we also have realized that red is sandwiched in between 2 things. And with blue not being able to be next to yellow, that only leaves green in that position and therefore has yellow sliding in a similar type of fashion. Actually, you could have taken the red and blue situation and combined it pretty much with any of the other elements that's there to say, oh, you know what? Because all of these other colors got eliminated, this other color has to be in that position. So really nicely done there. And then lastly, the puzzle here was to see, can you draw these shapes without lifting your pen once or going over a line that you've already gone over? And here, the trick is that when you're looking at the picture, the key is in all of the intersections. If there is all even lines going into an intersection. So in an intersection, there's 4 lines, 2 lines, 6 lines, you name it. You'll always be able to find an exit to that particular intersection. But if not, then you're stuck with an odd number. And you're going to need to find another odd number intersection to kind of crisscross with itself. So basically, we're always looking for evens. So if there's ever at any point a situation where there is that odd number and there's no way to make it out, you're not going to be able to go ahead and do it without tracing over yourself. I know, I know. So here, just 2 of these are able to be done with exactly 1 line without being tracing over yourself. And so that is the end of round 2. So Matt, let's go ahead and take a look to see if we have our leaderboards all ready. Are we good to go?
I have the final leaderboard ready, and I'm excited to see who it is.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. I just want to make sure that I have the most up-to-date one. Just make sure that we've got this all set.
It is all up to date. I can guarantee you.
Awesome. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and reveal the results here. And once again, thank you so much, everyone, for spending the little bit of extra time. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Big drum roll, please. We're going to unveil all of them at the same time. All right. And in 3rd place, we have Team JKD with 3 points. In 2nd, we have Awesomer Than You with 5. And in 1st, Team Smarty Pants taking it up with a really big runaway lead of 12 points. Congratulations, everyone, on being able to participate in today's activity. I know we just passed 6 o'clock Eastern time, so I want to thank all of you for this. Just really quick. This event was brought to you by Fuzzy Logic Escape Room, an escape room that's based out of Downers Grove that has hosted community members and families and local companies with team building experiences around the Chicagoland area, as well as now doing small group online escape room experiences. And this particular event, Code Crackers, is one of the offerings brought to you by Think Quick Events, a new corporate-facing brand that addresses large-scale team building for groups like this to be able to engage in an activity together and be able to engage in collaborative puzzle solving in real time. Things that are supposed to break through the trance of the digital screen and strengthen connections together as human beings. So I want to thank all of you so much once again for joining in for a virtual escape room Code Crackers game show for us this evening. And thank you all to the ICIC team for an amazing event all this weekend. I hope that you all had a really great time and that all of you have a wonderful rest of week, a happy and safe holiday season, and a really wonderful kickoff to the new year in 2021. From one small business to all the others, I wish everyone the best of luck as we hopefully embark on a really awesome new year. Thank you so much, everyone.